Hello everyone, it's Pat at Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to talk about wood beads and making this pattern with my wood beads. I've got 10mm turquoise here in the middle, and then I've made a little pattern with the two colors of brown in 8mm. And the center of the necklace is going to have these pendants made up with the feathers and a jump ring. So my next step here, also I used bead caps, which is one facing each direction here in the middle. So what we're going to do is put the bead cap on. Also I have 2 strands of tiger wire that I'm working with, so that when I do this part here, I have 1 strand goes to each section. So we're going to put the cap on that holds the bead there. Then I thread on the feather pendant, which is going to make sure I get it sitting right side, because these are only one-sided. And then I go ahead and put another bead cap, which will cap the next. This is going to have to go the other direction. You have to watch your directions when you're working with a bead cap. And then my pattern has 2 10mm beads. And that finishes that's going to be what my centerpiece is going to be. So now I separate these 2 pieces of tiger wire, and I'm going to put a size 8 seed bead on each one. Oops, I forgot that there's a one on this end. I put another bead cap, so let's do that as well. Once you get your pattern, it's a good idea to follow it. There we are. So this is my centerpiece all finished. So again, I'll separate these tiger wires and put one little bead. Actually, I'll do the whole section. So here I have the light color, so on this side I'm going to do the dark color. So one size 8 and a little bead. You could do this in a lot of different ways. You could alternate these colors on each side instead of doing one color on each side, but I chose to do it this way, and it seems to be working. So what I did was finish up the dark ones, and I did a pattern of 5. Oftentimes when you're making your own pattern, you want to work with uneven numbers. So that's what I have for the bottom, or the top part in this case. And then I'm going to do the other side once again. I'm going to put on one of these small beads, and we'll go ahead with the light color on the bottom. Wood is a good product to work with when you want something quite casual and easy to slip on, and it's easy to wear because it's so light. So we've got 4 and one more 5. And then, yes, at the end here we put a small bead on each side before we put the 10mm on. And then I'm going to put the cap on to the bead like over here, and put a 10mm bead here, and continue until I have enough length. So I'm going to keep working on that off camera, but I want to talk a little bit about other wood beads. Here's another sample of a wood bead necklace that works out really well. It's got Chinese crystal mix in with a pattern of 2 beads and a little tiny Chinese crystal. This works really well to catch the light as you're wearing it, because that little bit of sparkle is very nice. Now, wood beads do come in a lot of different colors. I've picked out a bright combination here, which is very pretty. And then I've also picked out a combination that are more earth tones, all in size, this is a 10mm. All really work very well together. So that's what wood beads are all about, and I will work on some more of this and take some pictures and show you later. Hi again. I was just finishing up the other end of this necklace, and I realized there was an opportunity for another one of my famous hints. So here we go. I've done this side with 2 crimp beads and the lobster clasp, and the other side's going to have this extender chain. So I've got my 2 strands. I'm going to use 2 crimp beads. We'll put the 2 crimp beads on to both strands. I'm going to loop them through this chain, and that's the second side of my necklace. Here we go. And then when we come back this way, we want this to tighten up really good. We'll get these crimp beads up so that I can go through them a second time. Also, to trim the tiger wire to be the same length, it makes it much easier to feed them through. So we've got those through there. And then I want them to go through this small bead, which is kind of tricky because it is barely big enough for, oops, it escaped on me. Through there, and I want it to go through one more bead, which will be this other bead here. Now the hint I was wanting to show you is that if you have this loop here and we want to tighten it up, if you take your round nose plier, put it in there and get a hold of this end here, it will rotate around the roundness of the plier, so then you don't get a kink in the wire and then it won't come any further. I've got it that far, so then I can just give it a good hard tug to get the rest of it. I want to keep that snug, maybe a little bit more. But those round pliers in there will help to get that to go around. Now I use the chain nose pliers to go in and give that a crimp, like that. So that's finishing my end, and I'm just going to trim this off. I tend to use scissors because I just find they are easiest for me. And then this can be adjusted a little bit for length because I've got the lobster clasp that can hook in here or a little bit further down. So enjoy making something with wood beads, and bye for now.